I've been making YouTube videos my whole life, but when I finally made it with 2 monetized channels, I lost everything, and here is why. Back in 2021, I started a brand new YouTube channel. I'd been making videos ever since I was a kid for fun, always for myself, but this one was gonna be different. I wanted to try and actually take one to the next level. I created this channel with the intention of finally growing a channel like I've always wanted to. At this point, I had never made a channel that had gotten past 50 subscribers. I've always wanted to be a YouTuber like every other kid these days. Obviously, it's a long shot in the reality for many people. It takes time, dedication, work without being paid. Many people give up before even getting a shot at success. Back then, I barely knew anything about creating a successful YouTube channel. Terrible thumbnails, bad editing. I had no clue how to put together a successful video. Overall, just not a great foundation. However, slowly and surely, I built up my skill set and started to create better quality videos. Eventually, I gained some traction on this channel, and after a year of posting nearly every day, I had finally become monetized on my first ever channel, hitting 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. This was the moment I finally realized I could actually do this. I had never made it this far ever in my life before on YouTube, and I had spent an entire year working on this channel for no pay, but the work had finally paid off. Now, all of a sudden, everything that I made would get me paid. See, I was a little ahead of myself though. At the time, I was under 18 when I was creating the Google AdSense account. I made it in my name. A bunch of things went wrong. I don't even remember all the details with taxes and stuff like that. Technically, you're not supposed to do that when you're under 18, but we eventually got the account in my dad's name, but I was demonetized for about 6 months or something right after I got monetized. So that was a huge hit to my channel. I missed out on a lot of revenue, but I kept my cool, I kept my channel going, and eventually I got monetized again. I ended up making a couple $1,000s off of this channel, which was a lot more than I ever expected. However, before I tell you the fate of this channel and what actually happened, let me tell you about my second channel that I made right after this one. In 2022, I started my next venture on YouTube. This time I went into this with the knowledge I had from the last channel on how to grow a new channel. I wasn't going into this completely blind, unlike last time. Carrying over what you know from your previous ventures helps so much. As you can guess, since I knew so much more than the last time, I was able to grow this channel at a crazy pace compared to the last one. I got monetized in under a month on this brand new channel. Let me tell you guys, I felt on top of the world when I got monetized that fast. I couldn't believe it, honestly, myself. I was so shocked. Clearly though, my efforts were paying off. I was now monetized on 2 channels. In those 2 moments, on 2 separate channels after being monetized, I had the same exact feeling. For each of those channels, I felt like this was my channel. This was gonna be the one that I would stick with. I was gonna push this to the next level, take it to the very top. Never did I ever expect to quit both of them though, and for them both to die off completely as a channel. This sense of confidence kept me fueled in making new videos, but as soon as each of them started underperforming, that's where all of my problems started. So today, here is my story of how I somehow managed to screw up and fail 2 promising channels that were monetized on YouTube and why they are no longer active today. Back when I started this very channel you're watching today, before I had even made the second channel I mentioned earlier, I posted a video. That video was called something along the lines of how much does a small YouTuber get paid on YouTube. I went into details about how many views I got, how much I got paid for those views, everything like that, all of those metrics, my CPM, RPM. At that time, I can look back and see how confident I was in that channel's success. Also looking back, I can see the early signs of where that channel started to fail, some red flags I really missed on from the very start. So you're probably wondering, I haven't gone into any details about what these channels actually are. So now I'm gonna tell you guys what these channels exactly were and where everything went wrong, so you can learn exactly from my mistakes and avoid everything that I did wrong. To answer those questions, I'll begin at the start. A while back, I started playing this drag racing game on my phone called No Limit Drag Racing 2.0. I loved it, and I was honestly pretty good at it as well. I decided I was gonna make some YouTube videos about it since it was easy, I had the time, and I loved playing the game. There was also a decently sized community playing this game. There was already some YouTubers established. I wanted to try creating a channel that actually could gain an audience. Except here's where everything went wrong. I dedicated my entire channel to that one game. I essentially put the entire fate of my channel's success in that game's success. Think about it. I grew my entire audience, which to be fair was not small in size, based off of that one game alone. I created tutorial videos with no talking, no personal element, not much editing. Basically nothing that gained an audience that would stick with me for me, but rather I gained an audience that would only watch these certain types of videos. I remember even early on realizing this. If I even sort of left what I was posting and switched it up a little bit, I noticed the view counts drastically dropped. To be completely honest too, this game was pretty niche. This is a drag racing game on a phone. Not a huge audience out there already in the drag racing community, let alone a mobile game. It was definitely popular, don't get me wrong, but nowhere big enough to create a substantially sized YouTube channel out of. From the start of this channel, I never even considered this once. I made the videos that got me views, and I kept doing that over and over and over again. This honestly made me start to hate the game. I never played the game for fun anymore like I once did. Rather, I played the game to make money off of these YouTube videos. Once again, doing the same thing over and over again, just posting the videos that would get me the most views. It didn't help that since my audience was based off of these tutorial videos that I kept making, I eventually ran out of content to make, since really the game only had so much to offer. The updates often took forever to come out, and they were very sparsed out, which didn't give me much content to work with. Especially in between updates, viewer counts would drop on my channel drastically. I just remember always wanting to quit this channel and just straight up be done with it forever. The only reason I kept going was the little money it kept making me. Eventually, I made a final goodbye video on that channel and left it in the dust after the views dropped drastically. By this time, I was on to my next channel. Remember how I mentioned it was monetized in under a month? Well, I was working on both channels at once. And when I saw that channel success, that's another reason why I threw that other channel in the dust. After posting that goodbye video, I put the final nail in the coffin on that channel. It was never gonna be the same, and it was completely dead. Eventually, I left it inactive for too long, and we got kicked out of the YouTube creator program because we did not meet the criteria anymore. I am officially not monetized on that channel anymore, which is kind of unfortunate because we are still getting a decent amount of views. But since the videos are so short, I don't have enough watch time hours. We're hovering at like 3,000 or something. So I'm missing out on some actual revenue there, which is kind of unfortunate. So for this channel, here are my main takeaways. Early on, diversify your content. When you start, you're gonna find out what works and what doesn't, what gets views and what doesn't get views. I found what got me views right away and rode with it. I stuck with it, I kept abusing it and posting it over and over again. Eventually, these types of videos became my channel's entire identity and audience behind it. At the time, you're getting all these views and you're like, this is gonna work forever until it stops. That's what got me. I thought it was gonna work forever. I never thought about the actual longevity of this idea and channel in general. I was just living completely in the present, not looking at the future at all. I was only seeing the views coming in now, not thinking about the channel's future. You'll see this is a really common theme in my next channel as well. I'll talk about that soon. So what I mean by that is don't just chase views the second you get them for the first time. Create an audience. Give your channel personality. Be yourself. Give your channel something that the viewer can only get from your channel, but not another one. These are just some ideas to help avoid this problem. Make them want to watch the video for you, not the idea or content itself. I know that's hard to just say, do that stuff, but really try and keep that in your mind when you're making videos. The next takeaway that I have from this channel that I really want to stress importantly is one that YouTubers actually promote a lot. This one thing I'm going to mention though will hurt your growth a ton if you don't take this into account at the very start of your channel. Don't niche down too specifically. I really can't stress this enough. This is the #1 thing I preach from learning everything on YouTube after all of the years I've been on here. Both channels that I've made have very specific niches. That one reason led to the downfall of both. Sure, you're gonna grow a good core audience at the start and it may feel like you found a successful niche. However, for the longevity of your channel, you'll realize you hit your growth cap really fast. For example, this drag racing game only has so many players and only so many people who will want to watch content based off that game. So by making content entirely based off that game, I'm essentially setting my channel a limit on how many people are going to watch these videos, and this limit is entirely dictated by this game's success. I set a growth limit for my channel that I didn't even realize from day one. I really highly recommend, before you start a channel, taking some time to think about your niche and the size of that audience before actually going through with it. Is there already an established big enough core group or audience that will watch your channel? And is there room to grow in the future with this niche? That's what you want to ask yourself. This is seriously something I never even thought about until after analyzing both of my failures. That's why I want to stress it with you guys now. Another thing that I learned is to make your content accessible. I made my videos so niche down and so catered towards a specific audience that literally only that audience could watch the video. What I mean is viewers are going to click on your video to get something out of it. Either that's entertainment, a tutorial, something like that. The value I had in my videos were super niched down to only a certain group of people that would want to click on that video. What I mean by making an accessible video, make a video that anyone can watch. Make a video that caters to a wide audience, not a super narrow audience. Obviously, this differs if you're trying to cater to really just a specific audience, but in general, this is just advice I'm giving for the longevity of a channel. Like I mentioned earlier, this channel's success was entirely tied to an outside source. It was basically in the hands of the developers of the game when they would release an update, everything like that. If you can diversify your content, you're in the hands of your success. You are now in control of your own channel success. Diversifying your content, I think, is one of the most important things for the longevity of a channel. Therefore, I say don't lock yourself down to one type of content, especially from the start. Early on in your channel's days, explore different topics, different things, different video ideas. See what works, see what doesn't. Don't just chase the first views that you get though. Keep trying out new things. You want to test the waters to find multiple things you can post, not just one thing. Okay, enough on the first channel. It's time for the next channel. In this same story, you'll realize I continued to make the same mistakes that I made on the very first one. I was yet to even think about what happened with my old channel success. I just jumped to this one right away. I was hooked right away, thinking I had the golden ticket with this niche and channel, especially from the early growth at the start. I was on top of the world thinking this was the channel that was gonna blow up. This channel will again prove what I'm saying is legit, because these are completely different niches, yet both channels' deaths both boiled down to the exact same problems. To put it short, this channel was about college football, specifically the video game NCAA 14. At the time, this was a highly sought after game. Because there was no new college football game, this one was also hard to get your hands on. Thankfully, I had a modded version of the game, so I was in good luck. So I was able to use this to my advantage to grow an audience very quickly from the start. If you want to see a full-length video about this channel, I have it linked in the description below. I've made one on this channel. Also, I was a lot better at creating videos as well. I actually put my own voice into it. I edited good videos, and they were longer, so there was an actual personal element attached to these videos and something the audience would actually want to watch. Not just for a tutorial, but some actual entertainment value. Like I mentioned, the videos were a lot longer, so it made them a lot more profitable as well, which is another reason I just switched to this channel and killed the other one. At the very start of this channel, I hopped on an upcoming trend, and it pretty much blew my channel up overnight. That's how I got monetized right away. I hopped on this trend, and I saw the instant success that I had. Now you can probably guess where this is going. Like the other channel, I abused this method over and over again, posting the same types of videos over and over. The first thing that got me views, I abused it, which is why I stress don't abuse the first thing that gets you views. Once again, I had fallen into the trap of short-term success, which doesn't mean anything when you can't turn that short-term success into long-term success. I actually did come up with some good ideas on this channel that were my own. Some were a hit, some were a miss. I did get some good views on some, got little views on some others. But the overall foundation of my channel was built on this one trend alone, which early on I kept abusing over and over. And as you can guess, this trend eventually died, like everything on the internet. Nothing is forever. And when that trend died, so did my channel. Trend became oversaturated, less people were watching it, and just like that, my views withered away. Everything I posted from now on got minimal views in comparison to the very start of my channel. It's crazy that my first couple of videos were my most successful ones on that channel. That just seems funny to me. I feel like it should usually be opposite. Not your first videos. It should be later on you get your most successful ones. Once again, even though it felt like I built an audience on myself, when I look back on it, I really didn't. I built my audience based on an idea alone. One trend, one idea, that was it. Not for me, they just wanted to see this one type of specific video. Even though this niche did have more potentials for success than the last one, I still locked myself into a roadblock. I realized this niche is very seasonal. What I mean by that is during the college football season, views were popping. I was getting tons of viewers, everything was booming on my channel. Then all of a sudden, once the college football season's over, all the people go away. This led me to not even posting during the off season. I realized I was gonna get no views. I only posted during the football season, nothing during the off season. This ended up impacting my channel a lot because when I came back after the off season, I had lost a huge core audience that I had grown through consistency of posting, but now they weren't there anymore. So that is another problem that I faced. The lack of consistency really hurt my channel. So to tie everything back together, guys, these are the core lessons that I want you to take away from my experiences on YouTube. Number one, don't let short-term success blind you to long-term sustainability. Just because something works now doesn't mean it's gonna work forever. Trends fade, niches shrink, audiences move on. Nothing on the internet is forever. You always have to remember that. Even if you feel on top of the world now, in a week you could be off of it. Number two, nobody cares about you if you don't give them a reason to. Build a channel around you, not just the content. If your viewers only come for the topic and not your personality, as soon as the trend fades and leaves, they're not gonna stick around, they're gone. Give them a reason to stay for you. Number three, avoid boxing yourself into a niche with no room to grow. Hyper-specific content can get you quick views, but it also puts a major ceiling on your potential. Before starting a channel, always ask yourself, can this audience actually grow or is it already maxed out? As you can see, I locked myself into two very specific niches, and I watched both of those channels die out slowly. Number four, diversify early. Test different content styles, formats, anything. Do this all before you get stuck in a loop. The more flexible your channel is, the better you can adapt when things change on YouTube. I kept making the same videos over and over because they worked at the time. By the time I realized I needed to change, it was too late and my audience only was there for one thing. Number 5, if you're only in it for the money, you're gonna burn out. Trust me, I've learned from experience. I used to have a deep passion for video creation. As soon as I started making money though, that passion kind of went away. I did everything for money. I forgot why I liked making videos and why I started doing it in the first place. If you make everything about money, then it becomes a chore. I know making money's great and everything, even if you can make it your full-time job. Still, do it because you love it. And if you realize you don't love it, maybe you can rethink things there if you're only doing it for the money. Number 6, last but not least, for your own mental sake, do not celebrate too early. I personally had to find this one out myself twice. In both cases, I got myself way too excited way too early on. Ultimately, this led me to quitting both channels when I started getting less and less success as I went on, compared to what I had at the start of these channels. So guys, I know this is cliche, but at the end of the day, YouTube is a marathon, not a sprint. My biggest mistake wasn't failing. It was assuming that early success meant I had it all figured out. I failed because I got comfortable, thinking I could just rinse and repeat over and over what was working. But the platform changes, audiences move on, and if you don't grow with them, you're done. So if you're starting a channel, don't make my mistakes. Build something that can actually evolve. And if you've already screwed up like I did myself, good. Now you know exactly what to do next time. The only real failure you can have is not learning from your past mistakes. So there you have it guys, keep going, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.